before people actually realize that there is somebody has suffered or is suffering from mental health problem. I won't say mental illness. Mental health problem, it means that they are stripping. I mean, I can recall when we were young, new mothers will come and our grandmothers will be saying, we are what about crowd about this up near that is suitable. And on the kind of home. Meanwhile, this man is showing every simple symptoms of postnatal depression. And time will come, you will see the woman, the postnatal depression will move on to become psychotic depression. And then that time will happen to everyone. Guess what happened? And simple symptoms like postnatal depression in Ghana can lead to somebody having full psychotic illness. And society will allow that person to go. So it is important that we are aware that when people are beginning to show symptoms that is consistent with that health, we are able to try and understand what the root cause of that is. And I'm going to say the story that I encountered, and I think for me it is the most profound encounter that I've had in my career. And if you think that I was saying that I have really worked with some of the most dangerous individuals that you can meet. I've worked with people that have killed and eaten the brains of people. I have sat here for a problem. That experience, this experience, for me as a person, didn't go anywhere yet. You know, during the COVID time, what we were doing was taking calls for crisis calls. So people will call the center and they will call in crisis, they need advice. It will be passed on to one of us so we could take it and you listen to what the story is and you can try and facilitate what the solution to that problem. But the key thing that we used to do is to listen, ask the right questions, get the answers, and we work with the answers. I don't listen to your story and come back with my solution that I think is good for you. On this occasion, the folks came, and it was a woman. She was whispering, and I could hardly hear what she was saying. I was trying to get her to tell what it was. And all I could hear was children crying behind the road. The man appears to be in the room, and there were children crying behind the house, and the room. And the last thing I heard was, to Sierra was scared of what he's going to do to me. And before she said that, or just after she said that, the door kicked open, and the phone, within a second or so, the phone went. The phone, I think, kicked off. So we still hear what the law is going on the phone. A man walked in, full of abuse, verbally very abusive. And as you can imagine, he started all causing the sexual assault on this woman. And I was on the phone. I could hear whatever was going on. I must say, I have spoken to this victim, and I have informed my husband to share his story since I agreed for me to share his story. So he's all consensual. I imagine, I've got sisters, I've got 2 daughters. I'm still my mom's boy. And all I could hear on this phone was a woman going through something, an affective, and when I say affective pain is if I slap your hand, you will feel the pain. That's the pain that you will feel, that's affective pain. But there was that pain, and there was this somatic pain. You know, here on the way of the pain that comes from my heart. Every cold touch it by it can feel pain. Those two things were put together. And I was sat at the back of the phone to know what I was straight the sound. It was so distressing. And then the whole call was about less than 5 minutes, but for me it felt like hours. And then I didn't know what to do. No matter our training, you don't get trained for this. Nobody prepares you what is this. So after the phone has ended, whatever was happening, thankfully didn't last. So in about 2 minutes, this man continued to verbally abuse the woman and left the room. And I could hear the woman on the phone talk, whatever she was, when they stopped it, crying. So at that time, I tried to say hello, see if you could hear me, but she couldn't. So I hung up the phone and I called the center back and said, this person that you transferred today, I will please call her back. And don't speak to her, just connect the call and let me speak to her. Before I did that, I had to sit down and think. This woman had just been violently accused as with a woman by a man. And another man is going to call her. How is she going to fare? And then I also said that I don't know, I didn't know this woman, I didn't even know her name. I don't know what was happening to her. I mean, I don't know where she lived, I knew nothing about her. So I said, could I go to bed? Knowing what has happened now, I don't go back to this woman. I told him in waking me at night. So to be honest, I was scared for myself that I needed to at least have it for a day. I won't understand what has happened. Luckily, we called and this woman picked. And what was interesting when she took the call was, the one that connected, I said, oh, hi, I'm Peter. I was talking to you, and then the phone dropped. And so, oh, how are you? Yeah, sorry, the phone dropped. How are you doing? Oh, it's also calling me back. This woman that was scared. How all of a sudden opened up and was now questioning me. And we had this conversation for about 3 minutes. And then I said, come on with that. I had whatever I was going on. And that's what, oh, dear to it is that, you know, what you were talking about. You won't talk about them happened. But I didn't openly hear what I said. Of course, the demeanor changed. I mean, I was able to get into with all the professional hustle and we were able to start with God and what to be interviewing styles and what have you. And luckily the was able to be trained for about 2 hours that day. On the 4th, I said that we have gone on to provide someone with a very good support and there's a good development going on. Okay. But then this brings me to the topic that I want us to discuss today. What I want us to talk about is normalizing the abnormals in our lives. How as individuals we normalize abnormalities that come our way and it becomes part of our lives. And the impact that have on us as we continue to grow. You see, as person, there are certain things, it may be a mature idea. It may be very minute, it may be very small, but it is. And when time comes that thing that we dislike, and when we take something or when we dislike something so much, and we encounter it, it gives us we have a certain reaction in our body, a reaction that if it is not resolved and it is concluded, it becomes actually a trauma in our body. Me, as I sit here, if you see a snake, you can change my name and write it. Okay, no matter what you say about it. So if you go and be putting a snake here, you keep me here, and it become normalized, every side of that snake, every feeling that I have, that fear, that anxiety, that stress, that the sight of the snake, it will give me, I may give you silk or going in with it, but I will have and every of those symptoms that I had before. So when we go on to normalize abnormalities in our life, what we have decided to do is that we are going to manage the spread, we are going to be adding on top of it. So now, going back to this one, and when I fall back, excitement in seeing my fall, the fear had gone. Now look at her. This is a woman that ran into the room and robbed her server. Now this man had come and basically better abused her. And suddenly after the abuse, she was fine. Everything had been normalized now. But look at the fear that existed before the abuse. And throughout the time that I actually told her that we've had a lot of conversations since then. But you can imagine the fear, and that is the fear that will add and compound a mental history and mental well-being as she grows, as she goes on it. So what I am trying to say to you, because I think we run out of time, as we sit here, there are things that we have normalized in our lives that we think elementary, but for our mental well-being, for our development, for us to feel that we are actually in control of our mental health, we need to review those. We need to receive the things that we really did the day life, and the things that we are normalizing now that we should stop. And it is in every sphere of our life, at work, at home, on the street, and everywhere, that we have normalized in our life. That previously was causing us so much stress, but now it is okay. We want to go back to it. And when we are experiencing certain kind of stress, especially when we are exposed to that kind of the situation that you have normalized, we should be able to now, for your mental well-being, be able to go back to our self so we can actually relate to where you're feeling this kind of. But as we sit here, if I hit my hand against this wall and I wake up tomorrow and the hand is hurting, I know that it is coming from me into that wall. If I wake up tomorrow and my hand is swollen and I don't know where that is coming from, it is a different hand of stress. And it's very important that you may have normalized it. You may not be able to do anything to it, but you may want to visit to actually establish whether some of your behavior, how of your responses to certain situations may be coming from that. At least from the as a basis, if you have that basic understanding of where the stress are coming from, you will be able to form some barrier or some spring. Or you may be able to change some of the things that we be emphasizing. I would say a big thank you again to you, for your audience, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.